All right, let's talk about something that chances are you use almost every single day but probably never really think about. We're going to peel back the layers on a piece of software that's been hiding in plain sight. Yep, that one. If you've been on a Windows machine anytime in the last, decade, you know this icon. It's where your photos live, where your screenshots pile up. It's the Microsoft Photos app. But have you ever stopped to wonder about its story? I mean, where did this thing even come from? And maybe more importantly, where is it going? Because trust me, the story behind this simple little icon is way more interesting than you think. This is not just a story about looking at pictures. Oh no, it's a story about constant change, about reinvention, a journey from being just a basic utility to a surprisingly powerful AI-fueled creative tool. So yeah, let's get into it. But before we jump back in time, I want you to get a sense of the scale we're dealing with here. This is not some tiny niche app. It's a global piece of software, available in a staggering 65 different languages. That just tells you how many millions and millions of people interact with this thing every day.
So where did it all kick off? Well, our story really begins with the launch of Windows 8. That was an operating system that totally shook things up and demanded a brand new way of looking at photos on a PC.
See, to really get the Photos app, you have to know what it replaced. Back in 2012, Microsoft basically retired a trio of fan favorites: the super simple Windows Photo Viewer, the more organizational Photo Gallery, and of course, the legendary Windows Movie Maker. The new Photos app was built to eventually fill the shoes of all three.
And that first version that came with Windows 8, it was pretty simple. It did the job. It had a few modern touches for the time, like connecting to your Facebook photos, and it could handle those cool panoramic files. It was clean, basic, and really designed for that new touch-first world of tablets.
But just being a simple viewer, that was never the endgame. With the arrival of Windows 10, the app's ambitions just exploded. It was time for it to become a whole lot more. And this was the big moment. In 2017, Microsoft dropped a feature called Story Remix right inside the Photos app. This was it. This was the spiritual successor to Windows Movie Maker, putting a full set of video editing tools right where all your pictures and videos already were. Man, the Windows 10 era was just an explosion of new stuff. The video editor got even better, adding things like 3D effects and soundtracks. The app got a light mode, a classic ribbon menu that people were used to, and you could even draw on your photos and videos. And, huge for photographers, it finally added support for raw image files. That was a big deal. A big part of this evolution was supporting modern file types, and one of the most important was HEVC. Now, all you really need to know is that this tech gives you the same quality video, but at roughly half the file size. That's a game changer for saving space on your hard drive or for streaming video.
But here's a weird little twist in the story. Because of some complicated licensing stuff, Microsoft couldn't just give this HEVC format away for free. So if you wanted to play these high-efficiency videos, you actually had to go to the Microsoft Store and buy an extension for 99 cents. Yep.
All right, fast forward a bit. The next major chapter in our story comes with Windows 11, which kicked off another radical change for the app. And this wasn't just a fresh coat of paint, it was a complete overhaul from the ground up. And this was a huge strategic shift. The old all-in-one approach from Windows 10 was out. The new Windows 11 app got a slick, modern design, sure, but the big change was that they took the video editor out. Instead, Microsoft bought a company called Clipchamp to be the new, dedicated video editor. And in its place, Photos got a killer new feature: direct integration with Apple's iCloud photos. Now, Microsoft knew that yanking the video editor out would upset some people, so they did something pretty clever. Instead of just deleting the old app, they made the Windows 10 version available to download from the store and just renamed it Photos Legacy. That way, if you love those old tools, you could still get them. And that brings us right up to the current moment, where the focus has shifted yet again. This time, it's all about the incredible power of artificial intelligence. Let's just look at one of the flagship AI features, generative erase. It sounds super complex, but the way it works is actually simple. First, you just circle something you want to get rid of, maybe a person in the background, or a piece of trash on the ground. Then, the app's AI looks at everything around it and poof, it just fills in the blank, making the object completely disappear. It's like magic. And generative erase is just the start. The AI toolbox is massive now. You can blur or totally replace the background of a photo. You can search for car or beach, and it will find those photos, even if you never tagged them. It can even read text right out of your pictures and let you copy and paste it.
It's wild.
But the evolution is not slowing down. In fact, it's speeding up. On the absolute latest generation of computers, these new Copilot Plus PCs, the app gets a whole new set of superpowers, all thanks to some specialized AI hardware inside. These new features are where things get kinda sci-fi. They use a special chip called an NPU, or Neural Processing Unit, that's built just for AI tasks. Relight lets you completely change the lighting in a picture after you've already taken it. AI upscaling can make a photo 8 times bigger without it looking blurry. And semantic search, that's next level. You can search for an idea, like a fun day at the park, and it'll actually understand what you mean and find the right photos.
So, when you put this all together, what does this journey really show us? It's the story of an app that has been constantly trying to figure out what it's supposed to be.
I mean, think about it. The app's identity has totally changed over the years. It started out in 2012 just as a replacement for older apps. By 2017, it was a creation tool. By 2022, it was a modern hub for all your photos, no matter where they were stored. And now, it's becoming a full-blown AI assistant.
You can literally see its power growing over time. It started with this narrow focus on just letting you view pictures. Then it expanded into letting you create things. And now, it's on a whole new level, infused with these smart, AI-powered tools that change what's even possible with the default app. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that the default Photos app on your computer isn't just a simple viewer anymore, not even close. It has quietly become this incredibly capable editor and organizer. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. In a world where we have all these powerful, specialized apps we can download, what's the future for the humble built-in app that just keeps getting smarter and smarter?